I'm Danny Barnes with the CCAA, and I'm joined right now by the head coach of the Cal State LA women's basketball team, Torino Johnson. Thanks for joining me today, Coach.
Thank you for having me, Danny.
Well, let's get a chance to just learn a little bit about the Golden Eagles. You guys this is kind of the unofficial halfway point of the season right now. I look at the record, you guys are 5-4, but that schedule is one of the more interesting schedules probably for anybody in the West region. Could you just talk to us a little bit about what your team has been through for the first 9 games of the year?
We tried to go and stick with the philosophy of if you're going to be the best, you need to play the best while they're at their best. And so we just wanted to get out and see where we were at in regard to the measurables and test the waters out. We wanted to just take on more of a challenge this season, and that's what you've seen.
And as you mentioned, you went up there, played a couple really good teams in the GNAC, went 2-1 up against the GNAC. I think the only loss you had was to Western Washington, who pretty good team up there. But like you said, you've got a chance to see the best.
Yeah, it was a really good game. Even in the loss, we learned a lot about ourselves. We lost to Western Washington in overtime, and we took some things away from there where we realized that we had more work to do and that we could we have the potential to be a really good team.
Well, let's talk a little bit about that. Some of those things you've learned, especially from your perspective on the sidelines over there as a coach. We've seen the Golden Eagles over the last couple of years. We've seen you guys have some really good guard play, Lily Bugs, Nicole Flynn, the other ones. But can you tell us maybe what are some of the strengths of your team? Maybe something that you feel will be something the Golden Eagles can rely on this year.
I think our depth will eventually play a part in our ascension through our conference and throughout just the basketball landscape. And I think that'll be something as we consistently focus on the development of our younger players, and we're giving and finding minutes to give them minutes that they've earned. And so there's a learning curve in doing that. And sometimes you've got to put yourself in a position to win later, which doesn't necessarily mean you're going to win now. So we're creating the depth that we need from our bench, and I think our rotational players are buying into their roles, and things are starting to click for them. So overall, I just see our team gelling in the second half of the season, and we'll start to make our move because of the depth that we've developed as a team.
Thank you very much. And as you mentioned, you guys have added some very key pieces to that team. I know I threw out some of the big names. You guys added some other all CCA performers, and I'm sure part of that is gelling together. One other thing that stood out to me when I looked at when I was looking at your early season schedule, you guys had 4 games decided by 2 possessions or less. I know let's be honest to each other, those didn't all go your way as you guys went 1-3 in those games. But what can you learn, and what's the value of playing games like that before you get into conference play, before you, knock on wood, get into the postseason or anything like that?
I think one, you get a stark reminder that one, you're not as good as you think you are, and 2, you're not as bad as you believe either. And so in those close games, I believe in taking credit for the losses, and my team takes credit for the wins. So in those closer games, it gives me an opportunity to improve and go watch and review film and look at things that maybe I could have done better or done a little differently, and then taking that into potential postseason play armed with that information and being in those situations and being able to make amends.
Much. I appreciate it. That's why I love doing these preseason or these interviews with the coaches and getting that inside information on that. I got to make a couple other notes as we just look through some of the other stats out there. You guys have had always pretty good 3-point shooting team and stuff like that, but I looked through, you guys are shooting almost 39% from the 3-point range this year, which is 5th in the NCAA. Could you talk to me maybe what's been the improvement on that one? Is it the offense, the looks? What's going on with that?
I think one, your teams are typically good at things you emphasize. And so we've done a really good job of putting pressure on defenses and creating those opportunities for us to get open opportunities. And a lot of those open opportunities have been threes. We've been able to create some type of flow within our offense to where we know what to look for. The defense is reactionary. And so if we can take literal offense at defensive positioning and master the spacing, we'll create more opportunities for ourselves. And I think our players and most players in the world are offensively inclined. It's like, they hit the gym in the summertime. They're not doing defensive slides and drills. They're working on their offensive game. So they come in already with a little bit of candy, wanting to take those types of shots. And so we just enhance the shot making through drills and competition, where you're getting into green light and yellow and red light, and those things are obvious. Who are green light shooters, and that's based on the type of reps they're taking in practice and the type of reps they're able to yield the type of results we want. So I think there's a culmination of these things, and when we get to the games, you kind of see it being a thing of attrition. You're seeing the development and the numbers going up, and hopefully they continue to rise.
Thank you very much. One other thing, we can look through the box scores, we can look through those other ones, but the reason we have the opportunity to talk to these coaches is to maybe get a little bit of that insight. Could you tell us something that you feel is a critical key for your team that maybe doesn't show up in the box score, maybe doesn't show up in those numbers directly, but you feel, you would put your finger on as the key for your team this season, or something that helps drive your team forward?
I think one of the things that I would key in on is the competitive greatness. Like, there's no stat for that. It's like, how do you compete during every play? Are you fighting for rebound positioning? You might not have gotten a rebound, but were you fighting for the position, the intent to rebound? Things that you can discuss and watch on film, but it's not going to show up in a stat sheet. We can highlight hockey assists, being able to make the one more pass, but the recipient wanting that one more pass. And so, in phrases, it's like, what's in the mind of the passer has to be in the mind of the receiver. So are we aligned and able to play harmoniously? So those things that we're going to watch for as a team and as coaches, because if we are able to make those one more passes, then we're going to definitely accelerate our growth on the floor, and that will turn into maybe out of those 4 games where we went 1-3 in those close games, that we are able to win majority of those if we're able to make those one more passes. But being able to make those one more passes, someone has to want that one more pass. So getting everybody's confidence up to believe in that. And so I would highlight those things for my team and myself to be able to search through that kind of hides beyond the naked eye.
Love it. Thank you very much. I appreciate all that. All right. Got a couple. We're going to close out now with a couple rapid fire questions, just for all the fans watching this one right now. Coach has not heard these ones before, so I'm putting him on the spot with each of these. Coach, who is the best perimeter defender on your team, one-on-one perimeter defender on your team?
Alicia Jones.
Thank you. Who is the best rebounder on your team?
I would say Olivia Hodges.
Cool. Would you rather score 90 or hold a team below 50?
Hold a team below 50. What
is your favorite practice drill?
My favorite practice drill is the Hawkeye shooting drill that I stole from Hall of Fame George H. Raveling.
Love it. Thank you very much. And in your opinion, where's the hardest place to play in the CCAA away from Cal State LA?
Well, I would have to say San Marcos, is I've yet to get a win over there.
I appreciate it. Like I said, these were all putting you on the spot, but we had to hear a little bit. Everybody has a different answer. So, Coach, just thank you for taking some time to talk to me today. Thank you for, like I said, just giving us a little insight into the Golden Eagles. And we just want to say good luck the rest of the way. I know it's the unofficial halfway point, and just good luck, especially with the rest of the CCA schedule.
Look, thank you for having me, and I appreciate the luck. We'll take it.